Hello, everyone. Welcome to the book launch and review event for Navigating Canada's Legal Terrain, the handbook for internationally trained lawyers. I am thrilled to be hosting this book launch, and we have our esteemed author, Bani Duggal, with us to discuss the insightful book at Star Talks. Counsel Bani Duggal is a seasoned legal professional who has established herself as a stalwart in providing legal counsel services, adeptly navigating the complexities and ensuring favorable outcomes for her clients. She has pursued a specialization in the immigration law, and her passion for assisting internationally trained lawyers navigate the legal system of Canada has led to the birth of this invaluable handbook. What truly sets our author Bani Duggal apart is her commitment to mentoring internationally trained lawyers, guiding them through the intricacies of the Canadian law and fostering their professional growth. Her dedication to this cause is evident in the success stories of those whom she has mentored and who have gone on to carve their own paths in the legal profession. Earlier, we have interacted with Ms. Bani on Star Talks on the topic of immigration to Canada as an international lawyer. Welcome again to the show, Bani Duggal, for the book launch and review.
Thank you so much, Siraj, for having me on your show and organizing a book review for me. It's always a delight interacting with you and your team members. Thank you so much.
Let's take a moment to explore the key themes and insights within the Navigating Canada's Legal Terrain. This book serves as a comprehensive guide for internationally trained lawyers seeking to establish themselves in the Canadian legal landscape. From understanding the various regulatory frameworks to networking strategies, the handbook covers it all. So, the wait is over. We can hear from the author herself on what has been the overall journey and the experience which pushed her to come out with this handbook and serve through various ways in which the internationally trained lawyers can benefit from the same. So let me start with the understanding on what has inspired you, Bani, to write the Navigating Canada's Legal Terrain, the handbook for internationally trained lawyers in the first place.
Hi, guys. So, this is the book, Navigating Canada's Legal Terrain. This is just a glimpse of it. And my inspiration for the book was basically because a lot of students and lots of people reach out to me on my legal blog about mentorship, about how to go about the process. And not a lot of people are very well informed about this process. So, what happened was that constantly I was getting the same questions again and again on the blog, and I started off by writing brochures for people who would give me same kind of questions. And honestly, I don't know how it turned into a book, but the inspiration came from all the students and all the people who've been reaching out to me since the past 2-3 years.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear, Vani. I hope that the book is going to be much of a use for many internationally trained lawyers over there. So, can you suggest, from the perspective of the internationally trained lawyers, what are the main challenges that they face, especially when entering the Canadian legal landscape?
Yes, it's not a very easy process, and I think the main challenges that internationally trained lawyers face is first of all finding a job. And I know that recently, if anybody has been watching the news, Canada has been in a very weird state where there's barely any jobs as of now. But when it comes to the legal profession, I think it has always been the same, and even right now, getting a job has never been very easy, even it was pre when the economy was very good. So I feel that getting a job, getting your foot in the door, getting an internship, or even I started working for free as an intern and then progressed to a job in the same place. And also adaptability, adapting from practicing in India or practicing in South Asia and adapting to a North American country does become a little task. So I think these are the two struggles which people face, and if you're prepared for it and patient, I think you go through them very fast. And I think it's just a matter of time that you get your foot into the door.
All right. So the main challenges that you have, put forward, and what do you think that the book that you have brought in is, set apart from whatever resources are available, especially how can the internationally trained lawyers get benefited? What are the key values that you showcase?
Well, I feel that it is a separate, it's set apart from all the resources. But there, I don't think there's any written resource. If you search online, there is YouTube videos. There is, if you go on the NCA website, which is the website which people reach out to for accreditation, NCA website does not give you any written resource on the steps. And if you go on YouTube, there's just a few bloggers speaking about it, but there's no written resource. And in this book, I've tried to cover not only, just accrediting your degree, but also how people go for LLM courses, they go for paralegal courses. How people, sometimes people, they don't move to Canada just for profession, they move to Canada for personal reasons and they want to practice. So this book is a sphere which covers everything, and all aspects in whatever, time you are. If you've just graduated and you want to do an LLM, and or you're doing a paralegal course because money is a constraint, or immigration is a problem, right? So I've tried to cover everything. I personally don't know of any other resource as such. That is why I try to put this out there, because when I started my journey, I had no help, I had no resources. And I think 5 years ago, YouTube was not a platform for such things. It was more of entertainment than it was for, talking about law and everything. So I would constantly, the only resources, talking to tuition teachers who are doing NCAs, and calling people, but that's, nowadays, even lawyers in our profession, people are not that free that they can give you that advice. So that is why I put it out as a resource there for people. And definitely all the proceeds of this book are going to be for legal resources and for charity, because we want, the upliftment of each other, instead of, more knowledge should be out there about all this.
I happen to know that the initiative is basically having that side of the contributions to the legal fraternity, and I should definitely quote that necessity is something that pushed you to kind of discover this handbook. So, well, we will try to understand more from you, Bani, from the aspect of the internationally trained lawyers. So, what are the some most common misconceptions, especially regarding the Canadian legal system?
The most famous misconception I hear is that Canadian lawyers earn too much. They earn $200,000 in 6 months or maybe 1 year. It's true to some extent, but the misconception lies in that initially we earn so much. You know, Law practice is such that in the initial years everybody has a struggle. After some time it becomes a little seamless, but again, it's the practice of law, so it's a constant practice. I think once you become really good at something, then is when you reach that goal. But why a lot of my students come to me and people reach out to me and they say, I ask them, why are you moving to Canada, what is the problem? Well, we earn more. Well, the problem is that it's not exactly true, depending on what field you are in. And secondly, Canada's lifestyle demands certain amount of money to be spent. So you're kind of earning approximately decent amount for your lifestyle. So people don't understand that, and people just go with, my friend went, usne ye kar liya, usne wo kar liya, like, it's saying that in Hindi or Punjabi ke they just copy other people and they don't realize that they need to pave their own career path. And also, another misconception of why I wrote this book was that people say that, oh, you have to do law all over again. That's not true. If you're a graduate, like Canada follows common law, and I have friends who are from Turkey, who are from South America, and they have done civil law, and yet Canada has been very receptive of civil lawyers as well, and accredited them as well. Definitely it takes a certain amount of time, but it is there. So that is what this book is all about.
Great. So the misconception of probably you have to restart the whole journey of your education is something that you
Yes.
brought. I guess like that's something that the internationally trained lawyers should learn from this handbook. And let's move further. Bani, in your opinion, what are the most important steps an internationally trained lawyer should take to successfully integrate himself or herself into the Canadian legal profession? So what are the preparedness kind of a thing that one should adopt to?
I think the two main steps, I mean, we already educate ourselves, we're already lawyers. So that is done. I think you need to do strategic planning, first of all, of how you're going to go about moving, how you're going to go about being a lawyer does not only involve education, it also involves good communication skills, good networking skills. You need to develop a lot of soft skills. You need to know how to write a very good email. I feel that in India, we are not educated properly on soft skills. We always think that they're not necessary, but they are very necessary when you're moving to Canada. You need to because you're representing a certain background. In India, it's we're all Indians. It doesn't matter, but in Canada, it matters because you're representing India. You're representing a background. You're representing being Punjabi, being Gujarati, or anything, right? So I feel a certain demeanor needs to be set. I feel listening more initially would really help anybody who's moving or anybody who's trying to learn, adapting to new skills, adapting new soft skills. And I think that's the best I could guide with all everybody is that adaptability is the most important.
Great. I mean, like for bringing the soft skills aspect and the importance of the same for the lawyers who are trying to get into the Canadian legal system. That's a key takeaway. And let's move further. Bunny, we wanted to know that you have been mentoring a lot of trained lawyers in your past, especially from the people who you have mentored, or maybe on your personal experience as well. Can you share with us a memorable experience or a success story where the journey has helped navigate the Canadian legal terrain?
I've had a lot of students, question and, get answers. I don't take calls anymore, unfortunately, anymore, but I do it on message and email. But, most of the students don't reach back and tell you how your advice went. But there are a few which come back to you and tell you that, your advice helped us. And I used to help a lot of students and still do at times help them with their resume and with their letters. So a lot of students, when they email you back that your help helped us get a job is that is it makes everything worth it, the pain and the scripting and the writing the book. So I've had a few students up until now who I've helped get jobs, who I've helped in their university, and it's really it's I love it. I just love it.
This feedback is something definitely which is pretty. And to hear back from the success stories, as you mentioned, from the people who one mentors, right? So is also quite a kind of fulfillment as far as the mentors are concerned.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And how do you envision your book being utilized by the internationally trained lawyers, and what outcomes do you hope to achieve through the leadership?
I envision my book as being the first thing an internationally trained lawyer when they're making up their mind to move to Canada. The outcome I'm hoping is that people would be more educated and they would know better what they're getting into. Personally, when I started my journey, I was quite lost. I did not know what I was getting into. I did not know anything. And I thought I was the only one in this process until I met a few other people. I want this to be an eye opener for people who are already established in different countries that it's not a piece of cake. And the move needs to be very patiently planned, because a lot of people, there are a lot of success stories, but there's a lot of stories where people drop out as well because they were uninformed of what exactly they're coming, you know, whatever they're facing. So I really hope that, this book is a guiding light for people who are planning to do this process.
Absolutely. We hope that, Bunny, so it should be helpful in, helpful for many upcoming young generation of lawyers. Let me probably ask the last question. So, from the community perspective, like it is always chaotic for especially the first gen lawyers as well. And then comes the layer of the internationally trained lawyers. So, there are multiple career professions within the legal system that are coming up, that are budding up, right? So every day in day out, we kind of hear in some new legal profession is coming up, some new kind of role is actually coming up with the advent of technology, and there are like things about the generative AI and a lot many things. So what do you suggest, like the people who are looking forward for writing books, so what they should be considering in such situation? Is this an opportunity for the new authors? Do you look like that, Bunny?
I think it's an opportunity for anybody who is willing to write a book, even if it's legal or not legal. I feel that if you're passionate about something or you have that fire in you to do something, it doesn't matter. To be very honest, around 6, 7 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I would have never thought that I would have be I would be an author, or I'd be a digital creator, or I would help people like this. It all falls into place, and I feel that if you have that passion in you to do it, it doesn't matter if there's chat GPT or there's any artificial intelligence in play. You If you're passionate about it, it will happen, and it will happen in a manner which you are feeling fulfilled. So for all the authors, all the lawyers out there, be patient, listen to your heart, and do not listen to anybody else. Because trust me, even when I was writing this book, a lot of people told me it's not worth it, it's going to be useless, it's a very basic book, it's not going out there. And today, when a few people have read it and they've come back to me and said this very informative, today I'm feeling very proud of myself for even taking that step and not listening to anybody. So you need to be passionate, you need to have that fire, and everything will fall in place.
Sure, sure, definitely. Thank you, Counsel Bani Duggal, for sharing your valuable insights with us today. With the constraint of time, we may have to kind of restrict the discussion. So, the book "Navigating Canada's Legal Terrain" is undoubtedly a must-read for internationally trained lawyers looking to thrive in the Canada's legal landscape. Thanks again for your valuable time and for joining us in the book review.
Thank you, Siraj. Thank you so much. And thank you to your team as well.
Sure. So, dear audience, thank you for joining us. We hope you found the discussion enlightening. Hope to see you again. We encourage everyone to grab a copy and delve into this invaluable resource. The copies are available in Amazon in paperback as well as the Kindle versions. For more such updates, please visit our website www.advotalks.com, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Advotalks.